little things that make me feel like that person was thinking about me and only me in that moment. I don't.
But just the green. What the jade ring?
You were high out of your mind.
Yeah. What about that ring though? Come on, Kalila.
I need to show it one in the next episode. Maybe you could tell he was high out of his mind when he bought it.
I was high out of my mind. I don't know. I don't know.
It was during that time. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And that's why I couldn't tell you when I was telling the story about the ring the last time. It sounded like maybe I wasn't appreciative of it. And the reason that I couldn't fully appreciate it at that time, but I couldn't tell you guys, is because he was acting very erratic and very suspicious, and I couldn't like connect the dots at that time. So when he out of nowhere says, "Here's the ring," it made me feel like, wait, like what are you trying to put a salve on? Because like, you know, it felt like he was just trying to put out a tiny fire. It wasn't really like, here's the ring.
Oh God, I know. But
it's a beautiful ring. And
it's a shit ring, and I was so high. I don't know the fuck. It's like I don't know what it was expensive, but it was ugly. I don't know what the fuck was going on with my mind. But I was in a I was lost. Yeah. I was in a state of mania.
That was my first pandy. So my first pandy, the reason I'm so chill about all of this is because I already had my pandy last year. For 4 months, oof, my pandy was rough.
That was a rough time. I mean, I remember when what was the roughest was you guys were all in the room.
Dude,
remember you guys were in the room?
Have we talked about that?
No, we've never talked about that. So
God.
This was crazy. So we did a podcast,
a live show,
a live podcast,
and afterwards she just looked at me, and you guys were both in the room, and she said, "I'm not in love with you anymore. I'm done."
Yeah.
Remember that?
That
I'm
scared
done.
Me and George were like looked at each other.
And
what are we
my
doing?
my heart just dropped, and she left the room, and I just thought, "Oh, life is over. It's different. Something's changed. I fucked up. I'm a piece of shit." But
I think you were too high to consider those things.
I mean, that's the whole fucking. It's the reason why I got sober. Listen, I was out for 3 months smoking pot, right? Mm-hmm. But the reasons why I got sober as quickly as I did, right, is the fact that there were 3 or 4 things that was happening that to me felt like too great of a loss. My relationship with Kalila was number 1. You could tell that it was in the fringe of just, it was going to be, and I couldn't, that was just too difficult for me to live through. And number 2, I mean, those other ones were health and my state of mind, and then maybe my career was 4th or 5th on the list. But that one day when that was a huge wake-up call for me, because you guys were both in the room, and we looked at each other, and we all felt like, oh, it's over, And
I remember feeling like I never usually lie to myself in that way, but I could feel the lie reverberating in my whole body, because I was lying when I said that. I just wanted to shake you so badly, because I thought that I remembered you saying that if I relapse or if I'm not in a good state, leave me, let me hit a bottom. So I thought that I was aiding in that way, where if I just lied through my teeth and just be strong and said, okay, I'm not in love with you, I don't know who you are anymore, I'm packing and I'm leaving. I thought that maybe that would shake you, but it kind of like,
Mm-hmm. I also remember Gilbert's look at me, and there was a sense of like he was without you didn't say anything, but you looked at me like with shameful eyes.
Sad eyes, but
it was sad, but it was like, what did you do kind of eyes.
But who stayed there the whole night until you guys finished talking?
You did.
I did.
I know, and you're the adhesive. You were an adhesive that night. You were, you know what you are? Taco Bell? You're
What
the
am I?
refried bean.
It keeps the
No, what you know that that double
To make the double-decker
with
the
hard
double-decker?
shell,
Yes.
Then the refried bean, and then they put the soft over around it. What do
Yeah.
they call that?
The soft shell.
Yeah, the soft shell one. You're the refried bean.
I'll take that. I remember I told George. I could tell George like so uncomfortable, so I told him, "You can go home. I'll wait here."
Well, I had
'Cause
no idea what to
he
do.
did-
Like I
he
didn't,
was-
I didn't
I-
know what's the best thing to do at this moment, and I had no. Yeah, like everybody was in different like headspaces,
What were you
and
thinking?
I was just trying to
What were you thinking, literally?
trying to think of what's the best thing to do. But like you and Kalila were in such different headspaces, it was like which side do I like help with to like bring everybody together? And I had no idea.
I was
So
like-
we tell the fans it was right after the final show in the old apartment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for context,
That's when this happened.
Kalila found out, or guess put all the pieces together, or Bobby admitted it literally right before they walked into the room. So if you were at the live show at the old house,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
as soon as
Wow,
Bobby
yeah.
and Kalila, I knew something was wrong with Kalila because she was not smiling for real. But Bobby
But
was,
I
you
put
know,
a lot of glitter on my eyes to try to mask my puffy eyes. So I put like in Euphoria that they put a lot of glitter. That's what
Yeah.
I did because I was like, oh, maybe it won't be so obvious because my eyes were so puffy. I had just cried for like a whole hour right before that.
Yeah, that was
nuts.
that was
It was a good show. Great show though.
Great
I don't know how you-
candy.
It was a great candy.
I don't know
but,
how the fuck you did that, knowing all this,
But
both of you.
let's.
That was a great show, huh?
Yeah, that was
That
a
was
good
a
show.
good
but,
show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a professional, and
I would say I'm a professional.
you as well. We're
That was really
professionals.
good, Kalila. That was
Yeah.
impressive.
But let's do an update.
They took photos
though.
with
You know, I have
everybody
over-
afterwards, just
what-
knowing like afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, George. The timing's great.
Some things.
That fell.
Even online?
Yeah. That hit hard, huh? So, but update. The update is, I have over 110 days.